Dear learners, how are you? Have you ever wondered what democracy really means? Why is India called the world's largest democracy? How do citizens participate in a running country? In this video, we will understand the complete chapter Understanding Democracy in a simple, interesting, and exam-friendly way. So, let's get started. The word democracy comes from two Greek words, demos meaning people and kratos meaning rule or power. When these two words are combined, democracy literally means rule by the people. First of all, we will understand what is the definition of democracy. Democracy is a form of government in which rulers are elected by the people. Citizens choose their leaders through elections and these leaders govern on the behalf of the people. The ultimate power in a democracy belongs to the citizens. So, the question comes in our mind is that who are these people? So, in a democracy, all adult citizens are considered equal. It does not matter what religion they follow, what language they speak, or what is their caste, gender, or economic status. Every citizen has equal importance and equal rights. Now, we will understand the basic principle in the election, which is universal adult franchising. One of the most important principles of democracy is universal adult franchising. It means that every citizen who is 18 years of age or older has the right to vote without discrimination based on caste, gender, religion, education, or wealth. Another principle of the democracy is one person, one vote, and one value. It means that every citizen get only one vote and every vote has equal importance. The vote of a rich person and the vote of a poor person carry the same value. The roots of democracy in India are very old. Ancient institutions such as Sabha, Samiti, Ghanas, and Sanghas encouraged people to participate in discussions and decision makings. These institutions laid the foundation for democracy values in India. India's democratic traditions developed over thousands of years, from ancient republics to the modern parliamentary system. The idea of public participation and collective decision making has continued to grow and evolve. In ancient India, people often gathered together to discuss important community matters. Decisions were made collectively after discussions and debates, showing that democratic values existed long before modern democracy developed. Now we will talk about Mahajanapadas. Between 600 BCE and 400 BCE, ancient India was divided into several large states called Mahajanapadas. Some of these states were monarchies while others functioned as republics where people participated in governance. The Vajji Confederacy is considered one of the earliest republics in the world. Representatives from the different clans meet together to discuss important issues and make decisions collectively for the welfare of the society. Ancient kingdoms such as Kosala played an important role in the development of governance systems in India. These kingdoms helped shape ideas about administration, leadership, and public welfare. The ancient Indian philosophy of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam means the world is one family. This idea promotes equality, harmony, cooperation, and mutual respect among all people, which are important values. Archaeological evidence such as inscriptions, coins, seals, and historical records provides important information about early democratic traditions in India. These discoveries help historians understand how ancient republics functioned. Now we will talk about the Gupta period. During the Gupta period, village councils played an important role in local administration. These councils solved local problems and encouraged people to participate actively in governance at the grassroots level. The democratic traditions of ancient India gradually evolved over time and influenced the governance of modern democracy. Today's democratic institutions are built upon these strong historical foundations. After independence, India adopted its constitution on 26 January 1950. The constitution provides the framework for democratic governance and defines the rights and duties of citizens and the government. The Constitution of India is the supreme law of the country. Everyone, including citizens, leaders, and government officials, must follow it. No person or institution is above the Constitution. This is the rule of law. Now, we come up with the features of the democracy. The first feature of the democracy is that the rulers are elected by the people. Citizens choose their representatives through regular elections, and these representatives govern on the behalf of people. The second feature of the democracy is free and fair elections. Elections in a democracy should be free and fair. Citizens must be able to vote without fear, pressure, bribery, or cheating. Every vote should be counted honestly and equally. The third feature is universal adult franchise. Every citizen who is 18 years or older has the right to vote. The principle ensures equal political participation and gives every citizen an opportunity to choose their leaders. The next feature is the rule of law. Democracy is based on the rule of law. This means everyone is equal before law, whether they are ordinary citizens, government officials, powerful leaders, or rich men. No one is above the law. The next feature of the democracy is accountability. In a democracy, the government is accountable to the citizens. Citizens can ask questions on any running project about his or her country or his or her state, demand explanations, and hold leaders responsible for the decisions and actions. The next is, now we will learn about the types of democracies. First type of democracy is direct democracy. In a direct democracy, citizens participate directly in decision making instead of electing representatives. So, there is no representative in that country. People discuss issues, vote on important matters, and make decisions themselves. This system works best in small communities where the population is limited. The other type of democracy is representative democracy. In a representative democracy, citizens elect representatives who make decisions on their behalf. This system is suitable for large countries with huge populations like India. India follows representative democracy because it is not practical for every citizen to participate directly in voting on discussion and decisions. Now we forward to the types of democracy. Representative democracy can be divided into two major forms: presidential democracy and parliamentary democracy. Both systems allow citizens to elect their leaders, but the structure and the functioning of the government differs. In a presidential democracy, the president is both the head of the state and head of the government. The president is elected separately and has fixed power and fixed term. The United States of America, which is called USA, follows this system. The next is parliamentary democracy. In a parliamentary democracy, the prime minister is the head of the government, while the president is the constitutional head of the state. The prime minister and the council of ministers are responsible to the parliament. India is example of this democracy. Today, many countries around the world follow democratic systems of government. However, each country may adopt different democratic structures according to its history, culture, traditions, and constitutional requirements. There are many alternatives to democracy. The first alternative to democracy is monarchy. In a monarchy, power is inherited by a king or queen rather than being chosen through elections. The ruler usually remains in power for life. The citizens have limited participation in governance. This alternative to democracy is just like the kings in ancient times. The second alternative is dictatorship. In a dictatorship, power is centralized in the hand of one person or a small group. Citizens have limited political rights and elections are often absent or unfair. People cannot freely question the government. Third alternative is military rule. Under the military rule, the army controls the government and makes important decisions for the country. It is like that the army is the head of the country. Military governments often come to power through force and may restrict citizens' rights and freedoms. We saw that monarchy, dictatorship, and military rule are some alternatives to democracy. However, these systems often limit citizens' participation and concentrate power in the hands of few people instead of the public. Now, a question came in our mind. Why democracy has spread so much in the whole world? The answer of this question is democracy has spread across the whole world because it promotes freedom, equality, participation, and accountability. People prefer democratic governments because they allow citizens to choose their leaders and protect their rights. We saw that democracy gives citizens the freedom to express their opinions, share their ideas, and participation in governance. People can vote, join political parties, and take part in discussions about important public issues. The next one is equality. One of the most important values of democracy is equality. In a democracy, all citizens are treated equally and enjoy equal rights and opportunities, regardless of their background, age, gender, or social status. Accountable government is that when we can ask questions to the government about its decisions. Democratic governments remain accountable because citizens can question their decisions and demand transparency. If people are not satisfied with the government performance, they can express their opinions and seek change. Democracy can also correct its mistakes because no government is perfect and mistakes can happen. Democracy provides a peaceful way to correct mistakes because citizens can replace leaders through regular elections and choose better representatives. Now, we move forward to the challenges faced by the democracy. The first challenge faced by democracy is slow decision making. One challenge of democracy is slow decision making. Since many people, institutions, and communities are involved, decisions require discussions and debates. Although this process takes time, it ensures that different opinions are considered before taking action. The next challenge is expensive elections. When elections are conducted, they are very expensive and requires a lot of money, manpower and resources. Organizing polling stations, printing materials and ensuring security makes elections expensive, especially in large countries like in India. The third and the last challenge faced by democracy is corruption. Corruption is another major challenge faced by the democracies. Sometimes people misuse their power for personal gain. Corruption reduces public trust and affects the efficient functioning of the people. That's why nowadays people are supporting less democracy, means that people are not in favor of democracy because slow decision making, much corruption, and the elections are more expensive, which requires a lot of tax. The next challenge is political conflicts. Competition among political parties is an important part of democracy. However, excessive rivalry can sometimes create divisions and conflicts within society, affecting unity and cooperation among citizens. Another importance of democracy is peaceful conflict resolution. Despite of its challenges, democracy provides peaceful ways to resolve conflicts. People can express their views, debate issues, and vote to make citizens instead of using violence. Another importance of democracy is dignity of citizens. Democracy protects the dignity and self-respect of every citizen. It gives equal importance to all individuals and ensures that everyone's voice and opinions are valued. Because this chapter and these questions are asked rapidly in exam, I would like you to give a shortcut, that is dream shortcut, in which we can remember the importance of democracy easily. Use the shortcut DREAM. Each letter represents an important benefit of democratic government. Now, here you can see that the D stands for dignity of citizens, R stands for resolve conflicts peacefully, E stands for equality, A stands for accountability, and M stands for mistakes can be corrected through elections. I would like to give one more shortcut, which is SEC shortcut. SEC shortcut. To remember the challenges of democracy, use another easy shortcut, which is SEC. Each letter represents one major challenge faced by democratic governments. In word SEC, S stands for slow decision making, E stands for expensive elections, and C stands for corruption. These are some important challenges that democracies must overcome. I want to give you another shortcut, which is every friend understands our rights. In this, E stands for elected rulers, F stands for free and fair elections, U stands for universal adult franchisee, O stands for one person, one vote, one value, and R stands for rule of law. These are the features of democracy which are often asked in exams. The next topic is citizens' participation. Democracy encourages active participation by the citizens. People can vote in elections, express their opinions, join political parties, and take part in public discussions. Fundamental rights. Democracy protects the fundamental rights and freedoms of all citizens. These rights ensures that people can live with dignity, equality, and freedom. Example of rights are right to equality, freedom of speech and expression, freedom of religion, and protection against discrimination and exploitation. Now, another question comes in our mind, that why is India called the world's largest democracy? Because India has the largest number of voters and conducts regular elections across a vast and diverse population. Here, millions of Indian citizens participate in elections and choose their representatives at the local, state, and national levels. The concept that every vote matters is very good concept in democracy. Every vote matters in a democracy because each citizen has equal voting power. A single vote can influence the outcome of an election. Equality before law. Democracy ensures equality before the law. Every citizen, regardless of wealth, status, religion, or gender, is treated equally under the legal system. We saw that democracy works through participation, elections, the constitution, and responsible governance. Citizens and leaders work together to ensure the country's progress. So, it's time to revise what we have learned today. Let's quickly revise the important concept we learned. The meaning of democracy, its features, types, importance, challenges, and India's democratic traditions. One more time, we can revise the definition of democracy. The definition of democracy is a government of people, by the people, and for the people. It gives citizens the power to choose their leaders and hold them accountable. Now, remember these simple shortcuts for your exam. The first shortcut is every friend understands our rights. This shortcut is for the features of democracy. The next shortcut is DREAM, which is for the importance of democracy. And the last shortcut is SEC for the challenges of the democracy. So, how did you like the video? Did you enjoy? Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please like, share and subscribe to Decoding Grade 9. See you in the next chapter. Happy learning!